In this video we are going to be looking over this Olympus OM-2 35mm film SLR camera equipped with the 50mm fast f1.4 lens. And there are some good things about this camera and there are some problems, and I've listed it here as for parts are not working, and I will go through the reasons for that, and I'm going to show what's good and what issues this camera has that you should be aware of. So first of all, I thought what I'd do is load a battery in here. Now the battery is not included, but we can open the battery compartment here with the coin. I'm just using a penny in the coin slot. Once we get it close, we can get it the rest of the way nice and clean. We're going to put in a battery here and close it up and get it started. Make sure the threads engage right, and then wind it in. Okay, so now what I'm going to first do is do the battery check. We can see the little red light blinking there, so we know there's power. And I thought what I'd do first is step down through the shutter speed, so I'm going to set it on manual here up on the top, right there. And then setting this one has the shutter speeds on a ring around the inside of the lens mount, and so let's begin here at 1/1000th of a second. Then we'll just index that down to 1/500th and 1/125th. Here's 1/250th. Now 1/125th. 1/60th, 1/30th, 1/15th, 1/8th, 1/4th, 1/2, and 1 full second. And let's do that again and watch those blades inside there. I'm going to get the light in here just right. Okay. And then the bulb setting, where the lens stays stopped down, the shutter stays open as long as I hold the button down, and when I release, the cycle completes. I'm going to set this back up at a faster shutter speed and cock the shutter and actuate the self timer. And now it's a mechanical timer and it is counting down, and we will soon see the cycle complete here. Okay, so we see that works. Now what I'm going to do is flip this from the manual setting to the auto setting. Now the OM-2 will base the shutter speed on what I set the aperture to. So I'm going to set this at f16, stopped way down since we're pointing right into the light here. And we'll watch this. Very fast shutter speed. And now while holding this in that same general position, I'm going to advance this again, but I'm going to block off much of this light with my hand. And we heard the shutter speed went much slower. It was much longer duration, which is what we would expect. So that proves that the metering is doing something in here. I don't know how accurate it is, but it is doing what it's supposed to do. And the problem is that the little needle that we see inside the viewfinder does not move. It's somehow stuck in the lower position and it will never move up. So for that reason you cannot use the meter on manual photography, because you'll never be able to see what the meter is saying. And on aperture priority, like we just did, it will pick a shutter speed for you. You won't know what it is in advance, which you're supposed to know, but anyway, that's what it does. Cosmetically, there's a few issues here. There's a little bit of wear on the edge here. It does have the shoe number 2 on the top here, and that's this one. Oh, and on the bottom, some previous user scratched some kind of number right here. I don't recognize what that number is, but it's done by hand and very sloppy, and it doesn't belong there, so be aware of that. And then I'm going to open up the back, and we're going to look here. You can watch as we advance the shutter. The curtains look pretty good. The film advance looks pretty good. And if we move over here toward the film door, the edges of the door feel a little bit sticky, but not a lot of residue on here. So the light seals are probably not too bad. I can see the foam in the corners here. Over here, this feels kind of sticky. So anyway, it should have a general clean lube adjust service, and that would likely correct any problems, but be aware of that. And then I'm going to take the lens off, which we do by working that, and now we can see that the focus is very smooth. The aperture ring has nice clicks, and as we demonstrated earlier with it set on f16, and I work the stop down that's built into the lens here, the blades seem nice and free, and if I can get the light in there, I don't see oil all over those blades like you do on some lenses, so that looks good. Let's look at it from the back as well. That looks good too. But there was one thing I noticed here, and if I take this LED flashlight and shine into here, there's a place near the back of this lens that seems to kind of light up, and I'm going to take it out of view here just a little bit. I'm going to take it out of view completely just so I can look. Yes, there's a very slight hazy, it's difficult to see. I'm going to turn off the front light and see if I can make that light up. It's just very difficult to get that to show up there. Right there, if you look in the middle, you can kind of see that area that shows a little bit in purple. It's near the rear element, deep down inside the lens. It almost looks like somebody wiped it at some point and then put the lens together. And there's also some internal dust and stuff. So be aware of that as a condition issue on the lens. Other than that, the lens looks pretty nice. The mount is in good shape. It mounts properly to the body, and it has the front cap, and it looks like the threads are, the filter ring is in good condition all the way around. So that is my look at this Olympus OM-2, and if you have any questions, please ask before bidding. Thank you.